Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be Hairy Muppet. We are going to be casting game number 3 of the quarterfinal of the HomeStory Cup number 7, and it is going to be Seed as the blue Protoss player down the bottom left. Let me actually get up my reference sheet. Seed hails from South Korea, and he plays for the FX Open esports clan. And it was actually interesting when I looked up that clan because there was no country listed for it. It's actually created by the Forex Trading Company, and I think technically they're based in Canada, but it's an international company. So yeah, the clan doesn't really have a home country, so to speak. But yeah, very, very awesome. And Taeja up the top right side, the red Terran player, he is from Norway. No, wait, sorry, he's not from Norway, he's from South Korea. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong entry. Taeja is from South Korea. He's playing for Team Liquid and doing an awesome job. There's actually 3 players from Team Liquid in this tournament so far. There is Snoot, who's already gone on to the semi-finals. There is Taeja, and there is TLO, who is in the 4th quarterfinal, and he has yet to play against Violet. So yes, Team Liquid doing some awesome stuff all over the place. And I think they're the only clan who have multiple people in the quarterfinals. I believe every other player is just from a single clan. So yeah, but Team Liquid, man, always awesome. And it looks like they may have 2 players in the semi-final series coming up now. At least 2 players, because Snoot went through, and Taeja, man, it definitely looks like he is going to go through unless Seed can make something happen. We're in a best of 5, and so far Taeja has won 2 games, so he only needs to win 1 more, and it is going to be game over for Seed. And there we go, the probe going to run around, he's going to see some stuff. Again, another map with only 2 main bases, so he's not going to go for a very early command center by any means, because he knows it's going to be scouted. And I don't know, man, this music reminds me of like Star Wars or something like that. It's not exactly the same, but it definitely sounds a bit like Star Wars music, like on the Death Star and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, fighting an X-Wing, so it's very, very awesome. But I don't know, man, Viking versus an X-Wing, man, that would be an interesting battle. I think the X-Wing has the maneuverability over the Viking, hands down, but the Viking, man, is got to be doing more damage than the X-Wing. I know the X-Wings have like concussion missiles or something, man, but they've only got about 2 of the damn things, and other than that it's just lasers, whereas the Vikings have an unlimited amount of just armor cracking missiles. So yeah, I don't know, man, what do you guys think? Yeah, what do you guys think? I really can't say. This Reaper, man, doing all sorts of good stuff. The Protoss did not have anything to deal with it. He needs to get a Stalker out, but the Mothership Core will serve. And that Reaper gets away by the skin of his teeth, but of course he is going to regen health, come in there, back in there for a second go, but this Mothership Core is just going to keep chasing him away. However, if he keeps moving in, keeps the Mothership Core defensive, that means the Mothership Core can't go out here and start wasting SCVs all over the place, which is definitely good. What do we got going there? NG Bay? That's a fairly early NG Bay. He's obviously won some missile turrets to deal with that Mothership Core, perhaps. Oh, Reaper gets a kill, man. He's actually got 3 kills so far, so yeah, excellent Reaper harass here. And a Stalker finally coming out for Seed, so there we go. I do not think that Reaper's going to be able to do too much more from now on, but yeah, he's still going to be an excellent scout for the rest of the game until he is wiped out by a stray Stalker shot or something like that. And here we go, command center coming down. Once again, Seed has got his command center, his nexus down slightly earlier, so he's going to have the economic advantage, and that's going to start to grow. And of course, we have to factor in the time it takes for the orbital to be built. So workers is definitely going to be a bit higher for the Protoss, but then again, when we factor in mules, it's probably about even. And here we go, he's going for a robo facility, and yes, he definitely is wants to get an observer out, because I think it was game number 2, there was the Widowmonger dropped in the back of his base, and this Stalker, man, do not run away, you're going to miss out on the Reaper. There we go, the Reaper's coming in, might be able to kill a worker, but with a sentry coming in as well, I do not know. He's just happy with scouting at the moment, and Oh, that was so close, man. He's so close to being destroyed there, but he manages to get out. And this guy, man, he is just completely freaking awesome. Actually, they could have killed him there, but he's yeah, he's got to stay on his toes to make sure he stays alive. And meanwhile, some nice defenses getting laid down by Taeja. And this guy is he was thinking about pushing in, but the Stalker's at the front gate, man. Stalker's at the front gate, man. What was that movie? Enemy at the Gate, man? Stalker's at the Gate. That sounds like a pretty good movie as well. I don't know. Maybe you guys think so. Maybe you guys think I'm full of shit. But whatever. Stalker's at the Gate. that is Taeja, man. That is Taeja's movie for the last 2 games, man. Stalker's at the Gate. Very, very aptly described the sort of Protoss harass he has been suffering under. And look at this Reaper, man. Absolutely tenacious, but he is going to get killed here, man. Just too many forces attacking him. Sentry's doing an awesome, awesome job at taking him down. They don't have added damage versus light. I don't know why I keep thinking they have added damage versus light, but they don't. And yeah, look at this, man. I think Taeja may be thinking about a 3rd base here. He hasn't built one up yet, and you usually wouldn't see him actually build it on the spot. He'd build it in the safety of his main base and then ship it across. He hasn't started building it yet, though. We've got a robo facility down. So yeah, man, Seed tried some High Templar last time. It didn't really work out for him. I mean, they did work, but Taeja, man, with the micro to keep his Marauders and Marines alive, it did the stim, backpedal, shoot, very, very nicely. Does he see this Observer, man? I think he must have. He's sending a Marines over. We're going to see a scan come down in a second. There he goes. So, excellent eye there by Taeja to see that Observer. And look at these forces, man. He's got quite a lot of guys. So, he's going to come down, maybe try and make things work. He's actually got 1 weapons already. 1 armor is going to finish off. And stim and shields, I think they're going to finish off by the time he gets down there. So, this is going to be very, very scary. The Protoss madly trying to get the first Colossus out. He's going to get it out in time. And yeah, as long as this Colossus stays alive, I think he might be okay. There's a lot of Marauders though, and these guys, they're going to stim in and they're going to snipe the Colossus, and I think Seed is going to be in a lot of trouble here. Because this Colossus is going to get stimmed and sniped, and yeah, it's not good. Force fields, that's absolutely brilliant force fields there. Keeping these guys out, the Terran's going to back off, so not to get in range. And if you got the Colossus up on the high ground here, he might be able to do something, but down in the mix, he's keeping up, and the Terran definitely has, I think, the better army here. He's got 1-1. The Protoss only has 1 weapons. There we go. The Colossus gets sniped. Half of the forces get trapped outside, and the ones inside did get wiped out, but they did manage to snipe the Colossus. Another Colossus coming up here, doing an excellent job. So yeah, slowly trying to keep the Terran forces out of there. But the Terran deciding to do a bit of a push. He's going to drop on the high ground. The Protoss is in a good position to see it. And the Terran player deciding not to move in. He's going to drop half up the top, half down the bottom. It's an excellent move, but the army out there, they're just going to miss out on sniping one of the medevacs. The Colossus coming in, going to do some nice damage. These guys are going to move in, going to try and snipe the Colossus, but the Colossus doing too much damage. And the ground army for the Protoss, man, is quite heavy. And once the second Colossus comes out, and then the third after that, these Terran forces are going to be in a lot of trouble. They're actually starting to get in trouble right now with just the 1 Colossus and this large ground army. So he's going to get out of there. He's got to move back, and he's starting to get the Viking production up. And once the Vikings get up, once he gets about 4-6 Vikings or so, the Colossus will just go down like nobody's business, and then he will be in a good position again. But I'd like to see him get a 3rd base out as well. It's definitely a good time to get a 3rd base for the Terran player after that push in. And there we go, actually he's building it right now, so that should be pretty awesome. This Observer is just doing a bit of a scout, but not much going on elsewhere. Protoss just mainly trying to get the Colossus out. He's going for his 3rd base as well. He knows that he needs it, so good stuff from him. Terran player is just going to solidify, make sure that Protoss isn't doing anything funny over here before he gets his 3rd. The Observer's doing a very nice job here scouting stuff out. And there he goes, 4 Vikings out on the field. He's not building anymore. I assume actually there's 5 Vikings, so I think he thinks that's going to be enough. With 2 Colossus, I'm guessing he's going to be right, but it depends whether the Stalkers are in range of the Vikings. Because the Stalkers, this many Stalkers could wipe out Vikings very, very fast. And he's just about to have Blink finished. So yeah, the Vikings are going to be yeah, taken out quite fast. But if they get in a nice position on top of the high ground or something, then yeah, I mean the Colossus can still see on the high ground. I think they can. So yeah, they should be able to still see the Vikings, but it's a lot harder for the Stalkers to get in range of the Vikings because the Vikings have such a long range. Here we go. It's going to be a push out here. He's doing both sides, so he wants the Protoss to come out here, and meanwhile he wants the drop to move in there. The drop's coming down, the Protoss moving back to defend his base. So he's got to be fine. These Marauders might be able to take something out. No, they're going to choose to get in the dropship, except for that poor bastard who got taken out. And yeah, going away. So that did a pretty good job. And the Terran, he might think about a flank here, but he just lost a fair amount of forces, and he is actually behind. In the army, I think he's behind in the economy, man. 61 to 47. Wow. That Protoss player has really been working on the workers like nobody's business. And the yeah, the Terran player not as good. Not as good here. So the Protoss definitely has the economic advantage. It's also got the army advantage here. So actually, there's a nuke silo coming down. We saw one of those last games as well, but I forgot to comment on it. Yeah, nuke silo. And he is going to, this is the starting energy, so he's going to be getting down some cloaks. And I think these are just going to be for sniping High Templar and maybe for EMP to knock out shields. I don't think we're going to see any nuke play in this game. I may be wrong though, but yeah, there we go. The Terran is starting to get up a nice army, but the Protoss is ahead of him by about 30 supply. And yeah, there's that Harvester, man. He's still got a ton of Harvesters there. But what have we got going on here? The army is just going a bit backwards and forwards, trying to see whether they can go in. The Terran player, man, we know he's got the micro to do it, but the Protoss army is quite scary. So we're going to see exactly what happens here. Nice force fields, trying to kill a couple of those guys. Managed to do it. The force fields are going to be very, very painful. Snipes out an observer there. Protoss sending a small hit force of Zealots. He's building up a supply depot there, and that's going to keep him out for a little while. But it's not going to last forever, so he needs some forces down here. And this SCV, man. There we go, a few Marines coming out. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. It depends whether the SCV moves out the other side when it's building the... there it goes, moves the other side. Zealot's not going to attack it, though. But this supply depot goes down. And 2 Marines versus 1 Zealot. It's not going to happen, but here we go. Major engagement going on here. And yeah, the Terran player is on the back foot right now. These guys, he's got a couple of Archons as well from his High Templars. I think he may have got a couple of storms off. The Terran force going to turn around though. Going to have a crack. And he's mainly just pushing back to kill this 1 Zealot, I think. He's got to send some forces back to kill it eventually. But I think right now he's more worried about this army. And the Hellbats out the front are going to be doing some nice damage to the Zealots. But I don't think they do too much versus Archons. Going to be some nice snipes there, taking out the High Templars. I don't think he's put down an EMP, but a storm going down on the Ghost, so that is not going to be good for them at all. This Zealot is just going to town. The Terran player has not been concentrating on him at all, but now his entire army is going to be taking out this Zealot, man, and Zealot taking down 3 supply depots, man. It's not often that you see 3 supply depots going down to a single Zealot, and the Protoss is continuing to push out, and that's actually supply boxed Taeja, man, so not very happy with that Zealot at this moment. Here we go, nice force of Zealots. Yeah, I think he sent him into the 3rd base, but because of these guys have been all built, they decided the only way to get through is go around the front way, but he does not want that. He wants the back way, and it's going to be another bit of a pain. They've got 3 Marines there and a bunker coming down, so I think he might be okay, but this is going to take a long time for these guys to get down though. And as long as he repairs this up, should be fine. Another bunch of Zealots going in there, but they run straight into the main army, so that's not going to be fine. Not going to be good for them at all. He's trying to repair it, but he's not repairing it with enough guys. Come on, there we go. The Zealots coming in. They're getting wiped out bit by bit. But, oh, another bunch of Zealots coming in here. The Protoss main force has moved in through the middle. And the Terran, man, is totally unprepared for this attack. And meanwhile, the Protoss going to come in here, going to do some massive amounts of damage. And the Terran choosing to move in. And he's not choosing to go back and defend his base. He's choosing to go for a base race, I suppose you would call it. And Yes, I do not know if this is a base race that he can win, because the Protoss has this base over there. And, I mean, he can lift up buildings, but he's definitely got Stalkers and Archons and all that other sort of good stuff. So, what is going on? What is going to happen? Who will win this game? I do not know. I really don't. I'm thinking... I don't know. I really don't know, man. The Terran may have a little bit more, just... I don't know. These guys, man, they're pretty awesome. High Templar's not going to be able to do much, but they are going to storm a bunch of workers. Look at the Ghost, though, man. Sniping the High Templars like there's no tomorrow. Doing an awesome job. And that's a bit of nice defense there, but the Stalker's going to come up and just wipe all those forces out. Meanwhile, the Terran base down at, sorry, the Terran army down in here is just doing all sorts of stuff, pretty unopposed. But the Protoss has this base, and I do not think... Yeah, the Terran does not know about that, man. The Terran does not know about this corner base. So yeah, he's flying his command centers around like there's no tomorrow, man. And if he manages to keep them alive, then he should be fine. But all of these buildings are going to get taken out. All the ground ones anyway. If we have a look at the army, the Protoss is definitely ahead, but that might be, it's just worker supply he's ahead by. Actual army forces, they're pretty much completely even. Although the Terran is got a few more minerals worth of supply. So I got to think that's from all the Ghosts or Marauders or something like that, I don't know. But all these buildings are going to get taken out. And yeah, he knows there's a Nexus still hanging around here somewhere. So he's got to go out and find it. Direct confrontation, I do not know which army I would favour at this point. But we will see fairly soon what's going to happen, because these guys are going to run back. They're going to defend this command center. The command center, will it fly in? Oh man, he sees the Nexus with his command center, man. That is just absolute gold. So he saves one command center here to rebuild his base. He uses the other one to scout out this building, man. So that's awesome. But this Protoss is going to be dead set on, oh, what is he doing? And he's got to go for the flank. He's running up here. He has to go for the flank. He must know. Look at these guys. The building's coming in. And the Protoss is going to get a beautiful flank here. The Terran is going to be taking out those buildings, though. And it doesn't matter if he takes out the Nexus, because there's still an assimilator over there. The Protoss, he's not going for the flank, man. He doesn't. The Terran has the high ground advantage now. He does not want to go in there. He's hallucinating a couple more Colossus, and this has got to look so scary to the Terran player, man. But yeah, he's got to scan down. His Vikings take out the one true Colossus, and I got to say, man, you don't see hallucinations that often, other than Phoenix to scout. But that was that was an absolutely awesome hallucination, getting down the 3 Colossus. If I was Taeja, man, I would have wet myself at that point seeing 3 Colossus. But yes, Taeja, man, with the wherewithal and with the orbital command as well to put a scan down there. He saw those guys as hallucinations. His Viking took out the one remaining good Colossus. And yeah, his ground forces just finished off the rest. So yeah, excellent job. And yeah, good stuff. Good stuff there. Maybe he shouldn't have... with hindsight, I suppose, he shouldn't have morphed all of his High Templar into Archons, because he could have used the Storms at that battle, but he did, and therefore he didn't have the Storms. So there we go, good job. And yeah, that high ground advantage, man, as well as the Vikings and the army, I think, yeah, just 3 weapons versus the only the 2 weapons of the Protoss player helped quite a bit, but I think the Ghost probably putting down the EMP probably helped quite a lot as well. Actually, let's just go back a little bit and see if we can see any EMPs being put down on this battle. I'm almost certain that there will be, but I just want to go see it anyway. And look at this massive amount of Zealots, man. So yeah, with the Hellbats out at the front, that would have been doing a crapload of damage to this army. So there we go, he's going to move up. The Hellbats just roasting all of the Zealots. You can see that EMP went down there beautifully. So yeah, the EMP and the Hellbats roasting all the Zealots. I mean, he really had a good composition to deal with this Protoss army. So that is why he won that with relatively easily. I mean, and yeah, the Medivacs always helping quite a lot as well. And even if he actually did have 3 Colossus, I'm not sure if he would have won that battle. I'm thinking he probably wouldn't have, just because so much of his army was Zealots, man, and he ran them into a wall of Hellbats. So yeah, not very fun at all. But that is going to be game number 3. And Taeja has gone ahead and he has won 3 games in a row in this quarterfinal. He is knocked Seed out. Both of the Protoss players knocked out of this tournament, and that makes me very sad. But Taeja, man, I still like him. He's still an awesome player, and we are going to see what he does in the semi-finals, man. He is going to go up against either TLO or Violet, and we will find out which one of them go into the semi-finals when we move on to the 4th quarterfinal, which I'll probably cast later today. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching this. This has been Hairy Muppet. If you like these games, please subscribe, because yes, it makes me very happy. And that's not reverse psychology or anything. Definitely do subscribe. Yeah, I will catch you guys later in quarterfinal number 4 of the HomeStory Cup number 7. This has been Hairy Muppet.